All right, today we're going to build a Ruger 1022 without any Ruger parts. Normally I take a Ruger 1022, whether it's standard or takedown, we take some parts out, put some parts in, make it a little bit different, customize it, etc. This time I've decided to kind of build one from various parts from different companies. So first we've got a Magpul Takedown stock. And it can come with the factory barrel or a 0.92 inch barrel, which is what we'll be using for this Gemtech suppressed barrel. Gemtech was purchased by Smith & Wesson, and so we're going to put that on there. The barrel came naked, so we had to purchase a takedown block for it, and I'm using a Tactical Solutions upper receiver, which great products. They're a little on the more expensive side, but they're very, very high quality, and they come with the retainer pins you need. And then if you've seen in my other videos, I'm a huge fan of Timney trigger systems, so we went ahead and got a Timney for this build as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of put it together in sections. We'll do the forearm and barrel first, and then we'll do the stock and the components to go in the stock second. So stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prepare the forearm. This is kind of how it comes from the factory. So it's configured right now for the smaller barrel, but since we have a larger barrel, we're going to take this center piece out and flip it over. And before I do that, there's one thing I'm going to do ahead of time. This comes with a set screw, and that set screw will help adjust if you needed to raise or lower the shim that we're going to use to support the front end of the barrel. Now, is that required? No, it's not, but it certainly won't hurt anything. So let me go ahead and get this guy in there, or at least get it started. It'll make it easier in the long run. Like I said, we're just going to get this started and make it easier later on. Okay, that's good enough. So we'll take these two screws out. As you can see, we're going to take this guy, flip it around. Lock that in. We'll put these two screws back in place. If you've never tried Fix-It sticks, these are a great tool. I'll even put a code down below, save you 10%. Not an affiliate link, just I do like their products. And so we arranged between JTF and Armed Lifestyle magazine, they gave us a coupon code to provide some discounts. So we'll throw that below. We're going to go ahead and put that shim in for this barrel. And so now the forearm's ready to basically receive the barrel. Now, when it comes to putting on the block, this screw is what will hold the barrel to the forearm, which will go in right here. Okay, so we're going to take that out. On the bottom of your barrel, you'll have your two screw holes for this block. To take the block apart, depress, you just pull this pin straight out. Let the components come out. There'll be 3 different pieces here. Spring and plunger, the fat end goes into the spring. Okay, so there's your parts and pieces, and inside here there's two screws. I'm just going to leave them in there. It'll just make putting these in just a little bit easier. All right. Normally I would take the old fix-it stick product and put the proper ends in, but for speed, and I would do it this way for the video. Before you comment about using Loctite, I will use Loctite after I take it to the range and test it. Once I take it to the range and test it and I know everything's happy, I might go ahead and pull it out and put some Loctite in there. But remember, it's a 22 and it's a suppressed 22 at that, so the chance of this coming loose is, you know, pretty much next to nil. All right, so at this point we need to put the spring back in, and we put this guy back in, push in a little bit, put your pin in, and voila. And now this is ready to go onto the stock. You can see where the pin goes through this hole right here, like so. Flip it over, take your screw, and we are going to tighten this up. Once it goes through the plastic, it usually stays. So when you go to, if you go to take it down later, it'll stay in the forearm. There we go. Just make that tight, and that's it. Now, this is the point where it might be a little difficult to see. I'll try to get it up in here. You can see the set. I don't think you're going to be able to see the set screw in here, but the set screw is right here. And so if you wanted to adjust the shim, you could turn the screw, push it up, and remove the shim. But as you can see, this thing isn't going anywhere, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So the suppressed barrel is on and ready to roll. So let's get the stock out and let's work on it. Okay, now with this Magpul stock, it came with a little lip right here that I had to do a little minor surgery, and I took a Dremel tool and I just sanded this down to where it's flat. It was actually hanging up the trigger system. So don't know if that was a design flaw, but again, it was very simple to take a Dremel, just smooth that out so it's rounded, and that seemed to cure that problem. So the Tactical Solutions receiver, this screw right here is what will hold the receiver in place. So we're going to take that out and put it to the side. I'm going to take our trigger, our Timmy trigger. Tactical Solutions, the pins come with the receiver. Now, if these don't behave, these pins, there is nothing wrong with giving it what I like to call a love tap using one of these. I tend to use the plastic or rubber side of the mallet, right? That's a little excessive, but if you need one, there's no harm in using it if needed. In fact, you never know, we might need it for this back one. Nope. Okay, and they went in. Now, sometimes with the 1022, the safety you need to put in between safe and fire. The problem with the Timney is it doesn't like to sit there, so we might have to finagle this a little bit. You can also use some painting tape or electrical tape to kind of get it to hover in the center, but let's see if we can get this to go in without monkeying it around too much. All right, I'm going to try to take a screwdriver and see if I can't get that down just enough to go through. I think we're okay. All right, we got it. Excellent. Okay, just make sure that's in there good and tight. Flip it over. Put our screw in. Oh, guy looks a little bit bigger. There we go. Alrighty then, looks like we got her in place almost. All right, now the moment of truth. Just function check there real quick. Okay, we'll lock it to the rear. We'll grab our barrel. Click it in place. Looks good and stable. We're going to lock this to the rear again. I can find the button. There it is. Use our takedown lever. Make sure we can take it apart. So that's it. With less than 15 minutes, you've got yourself a Ruger completely customized Ruger 1022 takedown with a suppressed barrel. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit subscribe. I'm a lone man shop here, veteran-owned, family-owned business. Subscribing to the channel will really help us out. And if you hit that bell, there's a lot more videos coming out around the guns themselves. We do reviews. Check out armedlifestylemagazine.com, free online magazine that has a lot of our reviews, write-ups about different pieces of equipment, etc. And Riton is sending me a scope or an optic for this that we're going to add to it and do a review on that as soon as it gets here. Hopefully that'll be here this week. But with that said, listen, train hard out there, be safe, and if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I answer everyone that comes in. Take care.